Hello, everybody. How are you? Welcome to today's training on YouTube. And some of you are watching me from Facebook. I cannot believe that we are literally at the end of September. Today is the 22nd of September, a very special day, 22/09/2022, and it marks 100 days. Can you say 100? And as you come in, just say hello, presence yourself. Let me know that you're here. It marks 100 days to 2023. So today is 100 days. So if you can put that in the chat, do so. And the reason I'm showing up a bit earlier today is because we are running the 100-day sprint. And for those of you who have registered for the sprint, I want to say congratulations. I take my hat off you because we'll be starting our orientation call later today. And I'm so thrilled for everybody that has signed up for the 100-day experience. I can tell you for a fact that it's going to just blow your mind what you can be able to do with focused attention and obviously commitment, because at the end of the day, it's about commitment. At the end of the day, it's about action taking. And at the end of the day, it's about community. And that's what we're going to do in the 100-day sprint. So I see Team Joanne in the house. Let me know that you're here, my friends, watching from all over the world, wherever it is you're watching from. I appreciate you. You could be in any corner of the internet, but you purposed to be with me today. And for that, I am so grateful. Invite a friend, because today I'm talking about self-leadership and why self-leadership is important in the times that we're in. And some of you are like, what's this self-leadership? Worry not, I'm going to take you through that, because many of us, before we manage other people, and when I talk about managing other people, I'm not talking about a managerial position. I'm talking about roles, even like being a parent. You're managing your children, you're watching over your children. Being a spouse, you're managing a relationship. So self-leadership is not about, oh, I'm not a CEO, this doesn't apply for me. There are many areas you are managing people, and you cannot manage another individual, or you cannot manage other entities without you first taking that leadership role for yourself. So if that makes sense, can I see makes sense in the chat, so that I know that we are together and we can get cracking on. As I said, I'm very excited because immediately after this, I'm having the orientation call for my 100-day sprinters, and I can't wait to take them through an incredible an incredible 100-day journey, because today's the actual day, 100 days to 2022. So let's go straight into what I have to teach you today, because self-leadership in these tumultuous times, in these turbulent times, must be mastered. If there's a time that many of us have been challenged, it is now. We're talking about what has been happening with the pandemic, being able to even manage your emotions, emotional regulation during these very tough times are some of the things I'm going to look at for you today. So if that's helping you, say in the chat it's helping. And as I said, please present yourself so that I know which part of the world you're streaming in from. Those on Facebook, those on YouTube, just so that I can know. It always helps me, feel more deeply connected to the community, whichever part of the world you're watching from. As you may know, some of you are new, you may not have experienced me before. I am streaming in from the United Kingdom, and Tim is streaming in from Ghana. So we have lots of people streaming in from Nairobi, from the US, from here, the UK, Germany, different parts of the world. So wherever the US obviously is always represented. So say where you're at so that we can give your area or locality a big shout out. So let's go to self-leadership. One of the biggest things I have learned as a coach, and as I have worked with not only a team, but also within my own personal relationships, is there certain elements that I really must work on, so that I do not communicate randomly, that I do not communicate in a way, as Tim has written in the chat, that does not make sense. So self-leadership is a model that was brought by a guy called Charles Mann's. And when you see me looking, I'm just referring to my notes. His Charles Mann's, and this his concept paper that he wrote in 1983 was on organizational management, but he went into the intricacies of these concepts that I'm calling self leadership. And he says that before you do anything, right, self leading is the thing that you must always take into cognizance. And that if you're a mentor, if you're a coach like myself, if you're a leader, you must master first self leadership before, as an overall practice, obviously, not only in positive psychology, but also in enhancing personal well being. All right. So today, I want to say this: how do you set the course of your life with a motivation to succeed? That is self leadership. Many of us just go through life without really having a plan, without really having a step by step strategies to help you get to the end destination. So number one, if you can put that in the chat for me, team, and whoever else is watching, is we need to have a good understanding of who you are. So we're going to go through that in the model that I'm going to teach. Who you are, number one, self leadership. The second thing is, where is it that you want to go? Because my starting point, say, is here, and I want to get here. Where is it that I want to go? When I enter my car and I'm moving from one, I'm always moving intercity. Like yesterday, I was moving. The day before yesterday, I was in an all-day conference in another part of the UK, about 1 hour from where I live. I had to go to my car and put in a GPS address. I had to go to the GPS system and put in an address of where it is that I want to go, and just press start. And off I went, because I knew the destination that I was going. If I did not put the destination, obviously I would have not ended up getting to where it is that I was going. So I was going from one part of the UK to another town called Peterborough. And for me to get to Peterborough, I had to be very clear, in the system. This is the address that I want to go to, hit go, and off I go, right? So where it is that you want to go, and what you can accomplish. So it involves having a good understanding of who you are, where you want to go, and what you can accomplish. Why is what you can accomplish is important? We are running the 100-day sprint starting today. Today, I'm running the orientation call for the ladies who have signed up. And the first thing that I'm going to ask them are these questions. Introduce yourself. Where is it that you want? Where is it that you want to be in 100 days? And then what is it that you would like to accomplish? Thank you so much, Tim, for really supporting me with the notes. And where is it that you want to? What is it that you want to accomplish in those 100 days? So they're going to set a goal, and we're going to set it together with them, so that in the support of the community, we will be able to make sure that every goal makes sense, because there's some goals which don't make sense. Like if you say you want to release 25 kilos of weight, which is about 50 pounds or 55 pounds, 60 pounds between now and December, is that really practical? Does that really make sense? Unless you starve yourself and go on some crazy crash diet. So we need to be very clear where we are starting from and where it is that we want to go. Does that make sense? Let me know if you're getting what I'm saying. And then, of course, the most important thing, capture this, my friends. This is the thing that makes many people give up along the way. It's the ability to control your emotions. Tim, can I have that in the chat? The ability to control your emotions and behavior in a way that guides you towards success. I've seen such emotional behavior sometimes in myself and also in clients, where it completely distracts you from achieving your goals. And life will happen. Let me tell you, these things will be thrown at you. People will say things, people will be offensive, people will hurt you, people, and even leave people. Circumstances can come in your life that will completely throw you on the other part of the journey. But how do you behave in that regard? You know what I mean? We can be having a team meeting, and one of the things that I'm like, Tim, we have to do this, and assuming it's not done, how I react, how I behave in terms of my emotions will really determine the things that I've talked about at the beginning. Who really am I? How do I master my energy? How do I master my vibration? How do I master my behavior? right? Someone can offend you. Will you carry that offense forever? And remember, half the time people get offended by things that the other person has no idea about. And I see Teacher BT in the house, excited to have you. Exactly where I'm starting and where I'm going, but also how our emotions will be in the process, right? You can have an incident that can happen in the middle of a process that completely throws you off balance, and you're like, this thing is taking me off my bigger goal, my bigger objective. How do you deal with that? And I'm going to give you examples as we go along. And obviously, controlling the emotions and behavior in a way that guides you to success. Exactly. So, what's your behavior like? You want to finish the 100-day challenge, right? You've joined me in the sprint, you're in. You get an accountability partner. Are you showing up for your accountability partner? When you meet every single week, are you are you the person who has done nothing? And the other person is feeling like they're your mother, they're feeling like they're your parent, and the relationship becomes very, very difficult to sustain, right? Because you're like, I feel like I'm this person's parent, and that's not what I signed up for. You know what I mean? Or are you coming in as a peer, knowing that this is the agreement that we have? We meet at 2 p.m. every single Monday, and every single Monday we outline, like when I meet with my accountability partner, we are both very clear what it is that we will achieve within that week. And we make it our business to ensure that whatever it is that we have said to be done will be done. So, for example, today when I jumped into my accountability call, I was so pleased because I'm like, the sprint is ready. My sprinters are ready. They're starting today, right? 26 women are in it. 26 women have said yes. 26 women are going to be running with me in this journey for the next 100 days. 26 women will be in my inner circle, working so closely with me during this 100-day challenge. And I watched there's not such a TV person, but there's this series here, reality TV series that has really captivated me. It's called Married at First Sight. So there's Married at First Sight, US, Married at First Sight, Australia. Now I'm watching the Married at First Sight, UK. Go figure, I'm here. And these people get married. You meet your potential partner at the aisle. You've never seen this person, you have no idea how they're going to look. And let me tell you, if that is a test of self-leadership, there is no other thing I can say that can make you really master your emotions, your self-leadership, what it is that you want, where it is that you want to go, like such a meeting. And I have seen people meeting their spouse for the first time on the aisle, and there's that instant chemistry. You can see these people are so attracted to each other. There's that physical chemistry. They just look like they're just gonna let coach not go, but you can see they just have that relationship that is gonna really, but it started with the physical. And there are others who you can see they're watching each other, they're like, not quite my taste, but I can tell that this person has a good heart. I can tell that this person is sincere. I can tell, you know? And I've seen a very distinct progression of some of these relationships. There's one particular one where they were night and day. The girl is working in a tech company. She's a partner in a big tech company. She's like corporate. They cannot get more corporate. Nobody can get as more corporate than she is, making, hundreds of thousands of pounds a year. And she's introduced to this guy, sweet little guy, sweet guy, who is a joiner. They call them joiners here, carpenter. And it's good business. It's not making him as much money as the woman is, but here, you know, anything that is doing to do with skills, people make so much money. Like the other day, somebody came to just fix a little thing for me. Literally took him 3 minutes. That was 25 pounds, but nothing compared to what the girl was earning. But when they met at the altar, I could see a genuine interest in each other. I couldn't say there was that physical attraction per se, but I could see that even the way they there was that respect, let's put it that way. I could see a respect for each other, and I said, irrespective of the social divide or where they are, one is this side and the other one is this side, these two can make it work. And guess what? So far it's just been magical. They went for their honeymoon and they just got to get to know each other. They started getting to know each other, and I could see there was that genuine love, that genuine attraction, and that genuine ability to get to know each other, because they moved through the superficials. They moved through the things that were just surface level, which many of us are not able to get past by. So let's go to why self leadership is important. And for me, I want to say this before we go any further. The first thing that self leadership has done for me is mastering my emotional intelligence. And as BT said on Facebook, she said, way, emotions, you nailed it there. Because many of us get so emotional, we get so hysterical over things that they may be worth giving a bit of thought, but you go over the top around it. Someone says something to you and it completely throws you off course. Think about it. As a coach, I run programs all the time, and it's so funny. You'll have 99% of the audience, of the people, say that your coaching session was phenomenal. They score me high, and they're like, wow, 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 I've never experienced anything like this. And of course my ego is thrown there. And then just one comment or something that somebody says, that you could have improved with this, or you could have added this, or it did not quite meet this, and you remember just that one comment. Out of 50 people, the one person who just said something, it wasn't even maybe a negative thing, it was just a constructive feedback, and all you can remember is that one thing. Please let me know if that is familiar with you. Tell me if that's something that you've experienced in your own life, even with your own relationships. Your spouse can say something to you, and they're always telling you lovely things, aren't they? They're telling you things that probably are helpful in your life, but the one thing that they say that really throws you off course, it keeps lingering in your mind. It keeps coming back. Oh, they said this to me. Oh, does that mean I'm useless as a wife? Does that make me useless as a husband? Or do they not see me as me? But it's not that. It's you're nitpicking. That's the word. You're choosing the one thing to focus on. And as BT says here on Facebook, and I want to say a very big hi, greetings to Sylvia. Hello, Miss Sylvia. Lovely to have you. Miss Naomi. Do you know my other name? I have a Naomi somewhere in my names because of my shosho was Naomi. So and I was named after my shosho, my dad's mom. So there's a Joanne, Naomi, Sylvia. For real. Joanne, Naomi, Sylvia, Wairimo Moturi. So Sylvia there and Naomi, I have all those names, but they're not all registered formal names. But just you guys now have one little new thing about me. So I know someone like BT will be calling me Naomi. See? I know people. I know I'll be getting messages from BT on WhatsApp saying, "Hi Naomi." Yes, and I love Naomi. Uh, and here they say Naomi. I have one of my mentees here. Her name is Naomi. So anyway, let's continue. Sylvia says we focus on the negative and kind of blows off the good things. That's it. That's how we are. Even in leadership, I attended a leadership meeting the other day. It was group. It was something to do with my business, and someone was just given really good feedback out of other things, and they just kept justifying the one thing. And he kept saying, "Oh, I didn't mean it like this. I didn't mean it the other." And we're like, that's not the point. It's not what you meant. It's just feedback for you to be able to make the necessary changes that you need so that you can become a better leader. So that's emotional intelligence, and we're going to go deeper into this as I continue. And then self-awareness. How well do you know yourself? So self-awareness, and put it for me in the chat, is the ability to clearly see yourself as you are, not as other people see you, as you truly are, right? So what does this take? It takes dedicated introspection. Do you take time to reflect on who you really are, and mindfulness, right? So a healthy sense of self-awareness will help you, number one, with self-control. You're not going to back at people and eat them up. I know people who are like a walking Rottweiler, a bulldog. Someone just says something and you just back at them. It also, self-awareness also helps you with your self-confidence. Thank you so much, Tim. With your self-confidence, so you are able to articulate yourself. You're able to speak in a way that is, captivates people just the way you are. It's not about your accent, it's not about where you've come from, but you're confident that you're bringing something to the table. Does that make sense? Say yes or no in the chat. And then, of course, feelings of validation. Who doesn't want to feel validated? You know, I remember in my corporate job, my boss knew me so well. She knew that my one of my love languages was words of affirmation. Let me tell you, you can buy me the most expensive perfume. You can buy me the best gifts. I don't mind getting gifts, but words of affirmation, like when people tell me, you're such an amazing coach, I got this from you, you helped me build my business and make so much money in my business, you helped me learn to master my emotions. Those validations really go a long way for me, Joanne. Think about you. What about you? Eh, what makes you feel good? What makes you feel encouraged? You know, the other day I was talking to my team, one of my team members, and she said to me something. She's like, I can't imagine working with somebody else other than you. And she's like, you've really helped me grow as an individual in so many ways. And let me tell you what, those words, like as soon as we finished the call, I I just saw so teary, because I'm like, that's what I have always wanted. That's what I've always craved. That's what I've always wanted. An environment where when people come, they feel loved, they feel appreciated, and they feel that this is the best environment for them to be the best version of themselves. So self-awareness, the second element that I want, that is very important in your self-leadership skills. If you could put this for me, Tim, and that's why we do the 100 days sprint, which I'm about to teach in a few minutes, is goal setting. And I want to say this as a good self leader. Say good self leader in the chat. It's important to be proactive in not only identifying your goals, because you need to identify your goals, but how are you going to reach those goals in chunkable, breaking down into chunkable steps? Does that make sense? And for Sylvia, she's just like me. Positive feedback gives her the makes her feel really good. Yeah, a good self leader. Yes, goal setting. You guys are with me. And the more you participate, the more it enters your subconscious and the more you'll remember. And why this is so important is because I know, like Sylvia, in the work that you do, and BT, same with you with your students. BT is a wonderful teacher. You will remember these things with your kids. So you'll be able to teach your kids this, to master some of these skills. How well are your kids, the kids that you're teaching, able to master their emotions? How well are they able to have that self-awareness? How much are they able to focus on the positive rather than the negative? And let me tell you why this work is so beautiful is that there's a trickle down effect. As I teach you guys, you're going to master these things and apply them in your different areas of life, right? So in your goal setting, you have the goal. How are you going to break it down into chunkable steps that make sense, right? Manageable steps, attainable steps, right? And this, when you learn to master this element of goal setting, you'll avoid several things. You'll avoid burnout. I work with a lot of clients who come to me with extreme burnout. Why? Because they have no sense of regulation of their time, of their goal. They don't know what starts and where it ends. So I want you to be able to think, as you create your goals, that your goals are going to be goals that are not only achievable, but they also come from a place of soul. That you're flowing with them, you're aligned with that goal. You're like, I'm gonna make this goal happen no matter what. That was maybe the 100 day sprint. I showed up for my content marketing. We've done reels, we've done videos, we've done emails, I've shown up in my content. I know it. I know I have given it my all, right? But there are other times I'll come back with a goal and I'm like, I didn't really give it my all. But like this one, I know I poured my heart. And even now, as we prepare, going on towards what's next, which is our 3-day event that is coming on later in the year. How will this 3-day event, what is it that I need to start working on now, so that by the time the 3-day event, virtual event is happening, the Purposeful Next Level Woman Virtual Summit, my people are ready. They are signing up, they are ready to come and learn. And for, this coming summit is going to be very different from what I've done before, right? So the third element of self leadership, and I want to see that in the chat, is self motivation. Many people are coming to me. Many people come for accountability within, from Joanne, hold me accountable, give me an accountability partner. But nobody else can hold you accountable if you're not ready to hold yourself accountable. Can someone say that in the chat, in a shortened version? Hold yourself accountable first. You cannot, again, dump your motivation on other people. I can't go to the gym for you. I can't. I can't. I can't teach your students for you. I can't, I'm so grateful that I have team to support me with things like reels, but there is no way they're going to shoot my reels for me. I have to shoot the reels. I have to do the voiceover myself. All they then do is go and post it for me. I have to hold myself accountable. And many times I've come and told you, hold me accountable for this. Let me hold myself accountable first before I ask you to do it for me. There are people who will come, and I see this especially in the Christian space. Sorry guys, I'm not calling anybody out, but I'm just saying this. You tell people, please pray for me, please pray for me, please pray for me, and you've never gone to God and yourself and prayed for your own situation. You just hand over everything to people, pray for me. And I remember one time asking somebody, have you prayed for yourself? Because the same way I pray for you is the same God you can talk to. Then they're like, no, but your words. I'm like, no, that's not how God operates. The same God hears you in your same words as I will pray for you. Take ownership first. Hold me accountable first. Let's be real here. Spiritual laziness. That's a beautiful word. Can everybody write spiritual laziness? And I see it all, and I've also done that sometimes where I've gone, even I remember one time going to my pastor in Kenya about something, and he's like, have you prayed for yourself? I'm like, no, you pray for me. Then he's like, how can I'm like, I'm praying, but when you pray, something happens. And it doesn't work like that. It's the same God. He hears us. We have to stop being spiritually lazy. We have to take the mantle for ourselves. And we're going to do a lot of this in my sprint, because one of the cornerstones of the 100-day sprint is that spiritual alignment. And so let's go back to the self-motivation, right? For you to really optimize your motivation, for you to really leverage on motivation, it means recognizing what is it about this goal that truly appeals to you. So for example, if one, and I don't know, I like using this one for releasing weight, maybe you're borderline pre-diabetic, maybe you've been told your blood sugar levels are high. Let me tell you, nothing will make you take this thing seriously, like thinking, especially if you've been in a place, and what I say might be a bit triggering to some people, but if you've seen somebody close to you suffer with diabetes, and then you're told that you are on the borderline of diabetes, that will make you quickly take action, because you're like, I don't want to get there, right? So optimizing motivation means recognizing what it is about a goal that will appeal to you, or that will really push you to go all in. Is this making sense? Just say yes or no. And then after that, you form a strategy. I wrote this on my email yesterday. The solution is in the strategy. The solution to my 100-day sprint, people crushing their goals, is a strategy that I'm going to give them during those 100 days, and the strategies that they will also create for themselves. So I want you to develop self-efficacy. And self-efficacy is so important by continually taking steps towards that goal. So when shit hits the fan, when things happen that throw you off balance, right? I watched something so I watched the prince, the king, our king now, King Charles III, during this time of his mom losing his mom, Queen Elizabeth. And I was saying to my husband the other day that this man has not had a chance to mourn his mom, because immediately the mom passed on like this, he was already made, there's a word, if you guys can remember the word, made king. And once he was made king, immediately he had to step into the role of king and take official engagements immediately. He had no time to mourn his mom. Probably now is when he's a bit realizing that, oh my God, she's no longer here. But he had to follow protocol. He had to observe protocol first. He had to put the nation first before the coronation. Thank you. My royals are here. My royalists are here. Before he was immediately coronated, made king, All his personal things had to be held back. Morning, or Meghan, or Harry, or nothing. Deal with the country first. Go to the one Wales. He had to start with Wales, where his kingship title was coming from. And I mean, it was incredible. And I would watch this man, and I'm like, this is what leadership is: putting everything else aside. I remember one time, and this might sound a bit extreme. One of the mentors I've been a part of, he lost his dad, and it's a big program, hundreds of people, and he got the message that his dad had passed on literally just before the call. And he sent a message, and he's like, he's just lost his dad, but that he's still coaching because the situation is as is. And he came on the call, and I could see his eyes red, but the man came and taught. And he's like, you know what? I'm coming because I made a commitment to you people. It's not going to change the situation, but as soon as I'm done with you people, I can then go and grieve. And I have never, ever forgotten that, because I'm like, wow. And he said, my first port of call is what I have promised you. It's a commitment that I have made here. Yes, I have the personal issues that I have to deal with, but as a leader, I must show up. And I remember something changed in my mind. Because sometimes you just have something happening in your body. You're like, oh, I'm having a bit of pain here. I'm there. Oh, let me cancel. No, no. It's not the pain teaching, it's you. You have the capacity to do these things. And that's what I'm saying. People are different. So I'm not saying that, and we're not judging. We're not saying, oh, anything is good or nothing. It's just what is, right? And the fourth element here is constructive thought patterns. The fourth element. So I want to see that in the chat. So we've talked about the four important self-leadership skills. We started with self-awareness. We went to importance of goal setting. We've gone to self-motivation, which I talked about, and I've just given you a long story around that. And the fourth one is constructive thought patterns. And here, it's really about you analyzing how are your thought patterns affecting your results? Because I work with a lot of clients who have so much potential. They're so knowledgeable, but they have so many limiting beliefs. Right? For me, limiting beliefs. Somebody can be the most gifted person in a certain area, but because they don't have confidence maybe to go and do live video, or they don't have confidence in the fact that they've never done it before. I have clients who they're a master in an area, but because they've never talked to other people outside of their offices or outside of that, they don't know. They're like, I don't know how to start. And I'm like, you know where to start, because you've done this thing for so many years, you've just not taught it. And I said this, for me, my experience in the UN, working in corporate, in banking, is when I came into coaching, I was so skeptical, because I was like, I have areas of expertise in teaching in other areas, working with clients with their money, doing all these other things as a leader in the workplace, but not as a coach. And one coach asked me, were you coaching the people in your organization? Were you teaching them different areas of banking? I'm like, of course, every single day. And they said to me, what's the difference? The difference is that now you're coming and teaching your clients a particular system and helping them to become the best version of themselves, and creating a model that will take them from where they are to where it is that they want to be. And I'm like, I can do that, but I've not done it yet. And they're like, take the first step. And today, those of you who check my WhatsApp stories, I shared that. In fact, let me see if I can read it for you. I just hope it's not. I wrote this in my WhatsApp story, and let me know if those of you, some of you see my stories on WhatsApp, and even I did it on Facebook as well. And this is what I said this morning. Let me bring it. Where was that story? How do I check this thing? I said, listen to this, the distance between ambition and reality is called action, and it always starts from scratch. Fast is hard. I shortened because of the space. I meant the first thing you do. The first thing you do the first time you do anything is gonna be hard. So fast is hard. Fast is lonely. Let me tell you, running a business, apart from me being surrounded by other entrepreneurs and having my accountability partners, is probably one of the loneliest journeys that most people will encounter. And that's why you need to be in community. That's why you need to be in the 100-day sprint. That's why you need to be in these areas where you have like-minded people who will push you to be better. But when I sit here on my desk, I work from home, it can be a very lonely journey. I'm not going to an office. I'm not surrounded by colleagues. I'm not surrounded by people that I turn like this. I see people that every time I look around, I just turn, I'll see a dog walking. I'll see a cat jumping on the fence. I'll see a little magpie. That's it, you know? But having the team, having clients, it's so important. And so the distance between ambition and reality is called action. And it always starts from scratch. Fast is hard. Fast is lonely. Fast is necessary. There has to be a fast time for anything. And those of you whose minds are going down the gutter, I see you. The first time you do anything, it is hard. Anything. Fast is so crucial so that a door can be opened for all your plans to fit through. And many of us, let me say this, embarrassment is the cost of entry. Many of us do not want to be embarrassed. You don't want to do that fast video because you're like, what if nobody watches? You don't want to do to put your fast post because you're like, oh, I'm not as eloquent as so and so. You don't want to put the fast I know. Yes, yes, yes. I'm seeing your comments. Yes, embarrassment is the cost of entry. But for you to become a graceful master in your game, whatever that is, you must be willing. Can somebody capture this? You must be willing to look like a foolish beginner. Some of you know my story. When I started live streaming, the first time I felt like I was literally gonna enter the computer with I was so anxious. I was nervous. I was live streaming from my phone, which is what I usually would do, still do. And I remember I dropped that phone like 5 times. I ran to the loo literally like 4 times before hitting live. And when I went live, and that time the algorithms are very different. I'm not gonna go into social media algorithms, that's a different story. But that time you'd go live and like everybody who is your friend comes live. So I would go live and there are like 50 people, 60 people. I remember the first live, I literally dropped my phone. I kid you not, because I was like, what is this? Then I was asking myself, where are they looking? Are they looking at my face? Are they seeing, like, have I broken out? Where are they looking at? Or is my top, is there too much cleavage showing? Is my bra popping? You're all over the place. Are they looking at, what are they looking at? Is this eyebrow different from this one? Even if it is right now, I really don't care. But that time, those were the things that really, really mattered to me, right? Yes, and I said to BT last year, and she's put it in the chat. I said, go ugly early. Let me tell you what that means. The earlier you do it, because you're going to do it anyway. If you're planning to go live, you'll still go live. So why don't you go now so that you make all the mistakes today rather than pushing it to a year from now and you'd still do it and you've wasted a whole year of your life for a thing that you'd have still done anyway. I knew I was going to launch a business, and I'm glad I launched my business when I did, because if I didn't do it then, I don't know where I would be now and how many people would have missed or I would have missed to impact if I did not go ugly early. So I always say, go ugly. You're laughing. Go ugly early. And I want to say this, that move you may be adamant to make or you may be resistant to make may be your game changer. That may be your game changer. Simply take your first step and be consistent and keep your eyes on the target. Let me tell you this. I wish, people try to complicate business, people try to complicate connections, people try to complicate starting a business. But I can say this, if I was to summarize anything, and I'm feeling goosebumps as I share this, if you guys will get this, is just that first step. I remember the first step I said, I'm launching a program. And I was so scared. I'm like, will anybody sign up for it? Will anybody sign up? And then my brother saw the post on Facebook and he shared it with some groups he was in. I can't even remember the story. And a lady saw it and she's like, this, I want to talk to this person. And me being so open and so, I was new, remember? I was so open. I told her, listen, I've never coached anybody. You're the first one. But please allow me to coach you because I feel I'm onto something. And if you allow me to coach you, and I remember it was $500, 50,000 shillings, I think, for a 4-week program. And she's like, okay, I'll be your guinea pig. And I'm like, what? She said, yes. But I still had that paranoia. I'm thinking, okay, is she gonna pay? Is she gonna pay? And the next thing I had, ding, I check and it was my M-Pesa 50,000 shillings. I remember it. And immediately, even before responding to her and telling her I've received the money, I sent to my brother, I told my brother, you've actually hooked me up with my first client. Not asking if I give him a commission, but BT knows who he is. And I can tell you, when I think about it now, it's just because I took that first step. I just put the post. I didn't know where it would land. I didn't know where it would land. As we speak right now, that girl is doing incredible things. She even got a scholarship with the Barack Obama, those foundations of Barack Obama. Remember the ones they were having? She got one of those Obama Foundation scholarships. She's launched her own financial coaching consultancy. She left her job with the bank after I coached her not even 3 months. She's doing really, really well, and she's continued to be in my world. Why am I giving you that? It takes that first step. So simply take your first step and be consistent and keep your eyes on the target. So for me, I never get attached to my outcome. Let me tell you what that means. Most people are like, what if nobody signs up? I'm like, if nobody signs up, I need to check my processes. It's not me who is the problem, it's my process. Did I market it enough? Was the marketing language suitable for my audience? Did it land with them? Don't personalize things. Many people are like, oh, they never took my program. It's not about you. When you think about it like they didn't take my program, it's your ego speaking. I always tell my clients, let's go back to the drawing board. Let's show me your sales. What is the word you said? And I analyze it and I'll be like, this could have been rephrased with this, because people buy from people. If you're not in a position where you're showing yourself as the expert, or you know what it is that you're doing, people won't get it. Or sometimes we become overly friendly with our audience that they don't even see you as the coach. They don't see you as a mentor. They just think you're their BFF and they'll never buy from you. So there are so many strategies I work with my clients, and when it lands, they're like, it's not about me. I'm not taking this personally. I'm going to make the changes. I'm going to make the tweaks. I'm going to make the adjustments. And I've done that many a time. I've put a program out there and the words don't land with my clients. And I'm like, let's change this. Let's fix this. And when I tweak the copy, 5 people sign up immediately. But you have to take the first step. If you've never done it, how can you refine that which you've never done? Can someone say that in the chat? How can you refine that which you've never done? So like BT, who has talked about the ambition and reality being action and resonating with positive thought patterns, I want to say this: behavioral strategies to help you succeed in self-leadership begin in the mind. And part of self-leadership, you training yourself as a leader first, is learning to see yourself as having the creative ability to deliver. I told you the cat that always likes coming to my near my window. It's this black cat, and it has a thing on its neck, a cute pink thing. But I'm not really a cat person. I knew cat people, sorry. But I'm not quite. But it really just likes coming to hang around my garden. It is. Anyway, let's continue. So behavioral strategies begin in the mind, and part of self-leadership is, number one, learning to see yourself as a creative being, having the ability to create, having the ability to improvise. Are you able to improvise what you already have? Do you have systems in place that you're working on? The ability to innovate. Are you an innovator, or are you one of those people who is a copycat? You go and just copy and paste everything other people are doing on the internet and call it your own. And are you able to adapt? We're in very different times. Even the buyer behavior before pandemic was very different from now. Before we just put things there, people, now you have to be a master for people to even look at your stuff, because we are dealing with a very saturated online space. Tell me, you people, do you get all these messages? It's so much. Do you get all these people sending things, Facebook ads, people posting things, webinars, challenges, what challenge, this challenge, their health challenge, all manner of things, and you can go crazy. But the person who gets who captures your eye is the master, is the person who has mastered the art of communication, is the person who has removed themselves from the equation and is looking at a transformational result for their clients. And that is how we get people to sign up for our programs, because we show them the end. We take them to 31st December in this 100 days challenge. Today is day one. But tonight, as I teach them in the next 1 hour, I will be taking them to 31st December. I will be showing them the end. And then through the 100 days, I'm going to work backwards with them to help them achieve their results. Learning to see yourself as a creative being. Why? Because we are co-creators with God. He's not going to come down from wherever to come and do your work for you. He's not going to do your work for you. He has put creative, innovative abilities in you so that you can fulfill your purpose. The black cat. Yeah, BT. The woman the other day disappeared, and the owner came and knocked on my door, and uh, she said, "Oh, I know my cat likes coming to your place, blah, blah, blah." You see, I told you these things. I don't even know which side it's showing. See, I told you guys, now I'm cool. I'm used to video. I just talk like we are together in the same room. So the cat owner, the cat's mom, they call them far mummies. The far mummy came and she said to me, "Oh, my cat has disappeared. I don't know where it is." I'm like, "Believe you me, it's not inside my house, because I ain't got no animals inside my house." And the day after, she's like, "Oh, it surfaced. It was, I don't know where." And I'm like, "Cool. I don't mind it coming to my garden, but it won't enter my house. Believe you me." Story for another day. Let's continue. So let's talk about some skills really quickly before I wind this in the next 15 minutes. Skills for self-leadership, because I'm going to teach in a few minutes to my 100-day sprinters. And I've seen someone sign up just now. They sneaked in. It popped that someone has signed up. I had said a few hours that the doors are closed, and I've seen someone has sneaked in. So you who are sneaked in, you're welcome. Team, there might be another one who wants to sneak in. Do you want to put the link for them? Because I see some sneakers in, and since we've not started, there might be somebody who wants to sneak in. It's $100 for the 100 days, so that's $100. That's $1 a day, less than a cup of tea. Yeah, at Java, at Costa, at Starbucks. I buy my coffee every day for £3, £3.75, just a coffee. So you can imagine I'm giving you this at $1 a day. Incredible value. So team, if you can put the link there, that would be very helpful. So let's continue, because the sneaky person has made me realize that I'm in business and that maybe there are a few more who may want to sneak in. So why not? So let's start with the first skill. We've talked about self-awareness. The second, thank you so much. The second one we talked about was motivation, and I've gone deep into this. The third one is decision making. Let me tell you, a yes is a yes and a no is a no. They're both decisions. And I want you to learn the decision acting skill of even understanding that no, saying no is still a valid answer. It's still a decision. Because many people are like, "Oh, let me think about it. Let me pray about it. Let me what about it?" And I'm like, just make a decision. Make a decision. Just decide. No one is putting a gun on you. Nobody is throwing something at you to force you to do the thing. If you don't want to do it, it's cool, don't do, but just say yes. Let your yes be yes and let your no be no. Put that for me. Let your yes be yes, let your no be no. No is a decision. In fact, I usually tell people when I send people my links for things, and the one who says to me, "Oh, not for me right now," I admire that. I love that you're decisive. Other than the one who plays tango with me, "Oh, let me think about it, give me 2 days, give me 5 days." 2 days later, they're like, "Oh, let me talk to my spouse." Just make a decision. It's either you're in. If you're not in, you're not in. It's cool. Like, I don't take anything personally, and I want you to understand nothing in business is personal. Can someone write that? If you're going to take things in person, take things, don't be in business, because you're going to get many no's, and a no is fine. What I don't want is people who just sort of drag you along in their decision-making process. If your yes is yes, let your yes be yes. If your no is no, let your no be no. As simple as that, right? Yes, there. I keep forgetting to show you to put these things, and then I realized, oh, there's something different today. if you don't decide, it leaves someone in limbo, whatever that is. In fact, I had to tell somebody to do that. Imagine it's okay if you don't sign up. Like, I don't need 100 stories as to why, it's okay. Like, it's not a must. You know what I mean? Like, I have so many courses and you can do another one at the right time. And that's the link for the sneakers in bit.ly 100 days sprint with Joanne. We start at what time? Finish strong. Yes, last minute sprinter, you're welcome. Thank you, Tim. Finish strong. She understands my audience. I get a lot of these people. Yes, let your BT, let your yes be a yes and your no be no. Anything apart from that is not only confusion, but it's utter chaos, because what you're doing is dragging somebody else through the mud of your indecisiveness, and that's not fair to any of you. So yeah, just saying. Just saying. Let's continue. So, decision making. Learn to be a very, very good at making decisions. And there are two types of decision makers, and I'm going to touch on this really deeply in the sprint, but I'm just going to give you an overview. We have the emotional decision makers. I'm an emotional decision maker. I know myself. For me, I just love you like this. I love people. I'm loyal. I like people. So I see somebody on, these people doing a video. Like, I love Tony Robbins. I love Dean Graziosi. I'm just currently doing a course with them. And I'm an emotional buyer. You talk to some elements of me that tug at my heartstrings, and I will whip my credit card at you. How much is it? Let me pay you right now. But I have many clients who are logical buyers. Before they make the decision, even to join the sprint or any other of my programs, they're going to ask me a million questions. And that's okay. When do we start? How long will each thing take? At the end of it, what am I going to get? Blah, blah, blah. And they ask me a million questions where it's all in the sales page, but they want me to be able to respond to that. And I have learned that that's the type of personality type they are. I'm not like that. For me, you send me a link, I read through, cool, cool, cool. Makes sense? Cheers, I pay. Someone else wants to know more, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with an emotional decision taker, and there's nothing wrong with a logical decision taker. You just need to know which one you are, so that when you're making your decisions, am I making this from an emotional perspective, or am I making it from a logical perspective? Can someone say, I understand? Because once you get that, you will completely view yourself differently as you make decisions. I'm the type of person, if I enter Joanne wants, Joanne gets. I enter a store, I see a dress I like, and I'm not even going to think about it. I like that dress. Straight to the cart, right? Someone else will be like, why am I buying a dress for summer and it's winter? For me, I'm like, summer will come anyway, even if it's in my wardrobe. Is it annoying anybody? It's not annoying me. Let it stay there. And if my size has dropped, we'll just donate it to charity and life goes on. Got it? Don't make things more difficult than they ought to be. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The fifth one is influence. I want you to understand you are an influencer. Not because of the social media influencing that I'm talking about, but because your actions, your behaviors, how you show up will have an influence on somebody's life. Me just showing up today, someone is thinking about me. They're thinking, I like her. Another one is like, I'm watching her, I'm observing her. Another one is like, oh, okay, interesting. She seems to know her stuff. Another one is like, oh, this is what self-leadership is about. Interesting. Is she a self-leader herself? Do you understand what I mean? Your influence. And for me, influence is such an important component. Two elements. In my business, two things matter to me the most: impact and influence. Those two are so important. When it comes to numbers, I'm not a numbers person. I don't go crazy. I have peers who, like I can see 10 eyes here. If they don't see 50 eyes, they're not going to show up for that video. For me, even if you're one person, I'll teach. Why? Because influence and impact is more important than anything, than numbers to me. And my team knows that. I always tell them, like the other day I did an Instagram live. I think we were two of us, me and my team member. And then all these people watch replays. I won't cancel doing the Instagram live because nobody has shown up. No, because for me, influence and impact is more important, and I'm very aware that majority of people watch my things on replay because they have a life, they are doing things, they have kids. So another one is breastfeeding their brand new baby there. Another one is washing their car. Another one is cooking for their husband. Another one is whatever, fill in the blank. So it's not like you're sitting there waiting for Joanne to go live. I get that. But as an influencer and as someone who values impact, I don't get jazzed or phased by numbers. Numbers don't move me. I'm cool because that one person who makes a decision for me, that's the person that counts. And that's why in the Bible, Jesus he left the 99 for the one. I want to be that, to have that same influence. I want to go for the one. I want to leave the 99 for the one because that one is the one who needs to hear this message. That one is the one who needs to step into their purpose. That one is the one who is crying for someone to listen to them today. And that one is here today and she's saying, this is the message I needed to hear today. That is influence and that is impact. Everything else is BS to me. Next thing, empathy. How empathetic are you? Are you kind? Are you a nice person? You know, let me tell you this, empathy, I'm quite strict, I am quite strict when it comes to deliverables in my life, but I'm also very, very empathetic. I'm very easy. And empathy is the ability to understand the emotions and feelings of others and to respond to them in a way that they feel understood and that they also see that you respect their viewpoint. Does that make sense? Empathy. And having empathy, for me, it has come a lot from my own life experiences. I've gone through tough times. Many of you have, but my empathy came from my own life patterns. And empathy requires you to have a deep understanding of your own emotions and feelings. Because how can you give that which you don't have? How can I be empathetic to you if I'm not empathetic to myself? Right? So I found that the more empathy I've shown to clients and to even my social media family, people who watch me on YouTube, what this allows is for me to develop a deeper connection with people, right? A close connection to the feelings and of others and to respond appropriately. And those of you who are on this YouTube or Facebook, wherever you're watching from, and you've not subscribed to my channel, could you please come and subscribe to the YouTube channel? We are at 222 viewers, 222 subscribers. Let's up that number. Let's bring it up. I'm happy with that 222 because 222 has been really, like today we're doing the 100-day launch and it's starting 100-day sprint and it's starting on the 22nd. I've been seeing 22 everywhere and I've been taking screenshots of it. Today my emails are at 222. So yeah, anyway, let's continue. So empathy is a skill that leaders need because it allows them to to create deep, lasting connections with the people that are in their life. Yes, we only give what we have. Then number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 is social skills. Team social skills. Social skills are the ability to build rapport and to make strong connections with others and to maintain those relationships. Just let me tell you this. You can make all the friends in the world, but if you're not able to maintain contact with them, keep the people close to you, understand what it is that they are feeling, let me tell you, social skills are mandatory and they're necessary. You are subscriber number 3. Give it to me, T. Right? That is so sweet. We must highlight that. Oh, bless. Who was number 2? Was it your team? You're a subscriber. Yeah, we are 222 in a couple of months. It's a slow burner YouTube, but I don't mind. I'm in no hurry. We'll get there, right? Yeah, I'm just happy that we're on YouTube. That's all that matters. So thank you so much, BT. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, I love it. And you're being welcomed by my team. They're saying you're welcome to finish strong if you want to sprint with us. And I want to say this, that if you want to be a high performer in any area of your life, especially in leadership, whether as a parent, as a teacher, as a coach, as even, any area of your life, you must master the social skills, all right? Please take this seriously. Because the moment you have these social skills, you'll be able to attract people and maintain long-term relationships with them. I have clients, in fact, some of them, including BT here, who have been with me from my journey many years ago. I have people who tell me in their businesses that people come and go, come and go. And I'm like, but do you nurture them? Do you keep them close to you? Do you update them on what's happening? Or do you just come, post, and ghost? Right? For me, post and ghost. You come, you post, and then you ghost, you run off. You come, post, sell your thing, and run off. Do you nurture people? For us, we are consistently sending messages to individual people. I'm sending DMs. I'm responding to people on my WhatsApp when they're sending me, asking me questions on my messenger. I'm always ensuring that I keep close tabs on the people that are close to me. I may not be able to see everybody because I have so many people, obviously, that I serve, but I try not to post and ghost. I do my best to ensure that I show up and that people see me. Remember, impact and influence, for me, that's important. And then the number 8 is self-regulation, the ability to regulate your own emotions, your thoughts, and your behaviors. And I talked about this without external interference. Keyword, right? External interference, and in a way that is socially acceptable. Here, you learn to respond to challenges, right? Rather than reacting to them. Many people react rather than respond. The other day, I had some woman, honestly, she was so nasty in a shop. That was complete lack of self-regulation. The woman who was serving her asked her if she has, I don't know, that if she just said something to her, and it wasn't rude, it was just a thing. And then she said to her, "Oh, are you telling me this because I'm black?" And I'm like, honestly, where did your color come in? She just asked you a very simple question. The answer would have been yes or no. Yeah, and some of us, we just respond, we just react rather than respond. What if she took a step back and just listened to what that woman was saying? Yes, to self-regulate is, your emotions and behaviors without external interference. Many of us, you go to people to validate you, to help you with your emotions. How do you think I should do this? People ask me, how do you think I should respond to my spouse? I'm like, I don't know your spouse. I don't know. I may tell you to do this and it works maybe in my marriage, but it may not work for your dude. You know your guy, right? I can give you advice, but I can't give you the exact words because I don't want to be the one who leads people to a divorce, do I? No, I don't want to be the one making people make decisions outside of themselves. So self-regulation, right? So I want you to start thinking to yourself, how is your response in life to anything? Is it deliberate? Is it well thought out? Right? Is it carefully thought out so that when as a circumstance happens, it doesn't blow you off track, right? Whereas most people, when they react, it's a spontaneous outburst. Boom! You explode and you're like, oh, what have I done? Like, why are you behaving like that? Like, why are you exploding on me? Like, what have I done? Can you just take a chill pill? Like, relax. It's not that serious. You know what I mean? So, a reaction is typically driven by emotion and a lot of pent up stuff that you have inside. So, you come and unleash on somebody who has nothing to do with the thing, right? And a response, so what is it called? A reaction is typically driven by emotion, and a response, which is what I want you to use, is carefully thought out because you're using logic and you're using reasoning. Makes sense? And BT says something that I like here. She says, we ask children after an outburst to regroup their emotions and reflect. This will really help. This will be exciting because what I'm about to finish with will really, and it looks like I'll be take a bit of time, but I'm going to say this. This self-reflection is done in a personal journal and it works well. I also journal a lot. Many of you who know me know I'm a key journal. I finish a journal in 2 weeks, not to show off, but I journal everything. Nothing stays inside. I'm not going to poison my mind. I'm not going to poison my clients. I'm not going to poison my family because of my own pent up emotions. I deal with them. I process them. And for me, I process better through journaling, right? So Strengthening your self-regulation skills will help you ensure you respond to challenges not only in a positive but also in an effective manner. And I want to say this: if you want to share this, it's going to help someone else. This is really good stuff. This is stuff that people pay to be taught, but I'm here to teach you because it was going to change your life. And the last one is accountability. Accountability is taking responsibility for your own thoughts, your decisions, your emotions, and your actions. And for me, I always say that a responsible leader, you, and you, is accountable for the actions and behavior of both themselves and their teams. There are times I'm like, oh, I didn't communicate that properly to my team member. That's why they screwed up. That's why they didn't do it properly because I wasn't clear, right? Taking personal accountability, taking personal responsibility. And a leader with strong accountability will be able to build more productive and more efficient teams because you're jamming together, you're vibing on the same level, you're talking the same language, right? So self leadership is actively, in summary, developing a confident sense of who you are, taking ownership of who you are, what you do, and being intentional about where it is that you are going. And I want to say this: there's some philosophers, you've had these statements. These are the statements that deal with self leadership, right? The first one is, you've had this statement: mastering others is strength. Mastering yourself is true power. When you master yourself, that is where the true power lies, because you're not giving your power to another. I've hit myself so hard. This shoulder has been having issues. Please pray for it. For the last few months, I think I slept badly on it, and it's really been hurting. Even when I go to the gym, I can't do much with it. But yeah, we're not complaining here. I'm just sharing. So when I did like this, did something. Anyway, mastering yourself is true power. Lao Tzu. That's the person who said it. And then, have you heard this one? I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. That's Henley. These are the things that you ladies need to remember. When you master yourself, that's true power. Nobody can take that away from you. Let's go to the final bit, and I'm going to be real quick. I put so many notes with this, but I'm going to say, if you got my email, I said to you, I'm going to teach you the model SOAR to help you with your emotional regulation, and I'll be quick. So the first one is S in the SOAR model is self, understanding the unique you, that unique you in terms of your personality, your physical traits, your intelligence, your strengths, your weaknesses, your habits, self. That's the first one. So this is what the soul model, these are some of the statements that I've put for myself. I can easily articulate. This is self, the bit of self in self leadership in the soul model. SOAR. Can someone write SOAR? Yeah, you know what? Getting physio appointment has been such a. I think it's gonna heal on itself, but one of my clients, she sent me some things to some self physio things. I'm gonna take responsibility for them by doing them. So yeah. So let's go back. Thanks, BT. Thanks so much. So self, I can easily articulate my goals and ambitions. And then I can easily put myself in the environment that brings out my best self, right? And I can also describe the environment that brings out the worst of me. I can name my values, right? The values that I believe in the most. I prioritize self care to address my most basic needs. I am aware when my fundamental needs are not being met. That is S in SOAR. So think about your own. What are yours? Yes, so those are some of the statements that came out for me when I was talking about how I need to support myself in self leadership. Let's go to O. O is outlook, right? Outlook is an awareness of how we view the world and how our emotions, of course, how they impact our view of the world, our worldview. So in the O, which is outlook, I want to say is I actively try to understand diverse worldviews. We're in a very diverse world right now. You cannot remain in your little shell and think you're going to impact and serve the world, right? I try to understand others' unique situations before judging them or before making assumptions about them, right? Some people are so judgmental. You just open your mouth, they've already created a judgment about you. So For me, O is how your emotions impact your worldview. Are you judgmental? Do you just see somebody in the supermarket and you've already created a judgment about them? No. Be very aware of that. I am open to changing my conclusions if introduced to information that is consistent, that is inconsistent with my initial beliefs. What does that mean? I can change my mind about a person, a place, and a thing once I get the information that will now support my new decision. And I also recognize how my negative feelings affect my behavior. When I'm not happy, I can tell. When I'm happy, I can tell. I want that to be for you. And then I stay true to my best self, even when engaging with life's most difficult situations. I've had challenges, many, and some really tough ones this year. But how have I been able to regulate myself? It's through everything that I'm teaching you today. So use it in your own life. A is action. In the SOAR, SOAR, A is, so we started with self, we started with outlook. A is what? Action, right? How are we able to successfully advance forward in those important, complex, and relational life issues is in self leadership. So when I'm having difficult conversations, because we all have to have difficult conversations, especially as leaders. And for me, I like peace. I don't like things that will stress me, but I've realized as a leader, you have to have hard conversations, even in coaching calls. There are times you have to have a really tough conversation with a client, a difficult conversation. How do you do that? Even with my team members, if something is not right, how do I have it without really making them feel offended? Or, I have no control how someone else will receive it, but how I bring it out is also important, right? So, number one, for me in the action in terms of difficult conversations is I'm always clear about my best intentions for the conversation. So I'm not coming from a place of malice. I'm not coming from a place that is mean. I'm coming from a place where I'm supporting people. This has been such a helpful. I was gonna ask you who is Naomi. I thought Naomi is someone who tagged you. This has been such a helpful session, very helpful. I'm saving this. This is where I'm at now. Very relevant. Asante Naomi. I had completely forgotten that I gave you all my business. And I'm like, who is now Naomi? Now I thought Naomi is your friend who tagged you to watch the video because people always tag each other too. Okay, so now I know you, Naomi you'll be referring to me. That is so funny. Uh, the second one is I try to create clarity and alignment on the core issue. Let the core issue be the main, let the main issue be the main issue. Some of us in difficult conversations, we bring in side shows. You're bringing in what Tony down the street said to you about this person, and then what Jane round the corner whispered in your ear. And you bring all these side shows and you completely forget what the core issue is. Can the core issue be the core issue? I can't be dealing with he said, she said in my 40 something age. It can work. Oh, he said to me, she said to me, can the core issue be the core issue? And I want to see that in the chat. Let the core issue be the core issue. And then I take time to ask follow-up questions to get my understanding better. The more questions that I ask, the more clear I am. As simple as that. And that's how life is. You ask me, I will respond. But if you do not ask me, stay with your assumptions and then you judge me, that has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with you. You are reacting rather than responding if you're listening to me. And then I know how to ask questions that generate forward focused solutions. Some of you are such little eels. You're so slippery. You go round corners like this. Stop it. Go straight to the point. Ask me the question. So sometimes I have to go to, and I'm on a call with a person and ask me, just ask me the question. Just go straight to the question. Like, let's not do this little game. Ask me what you want to ask me and I'll answer it. Right? And then I am comfortable with handling the defensiveness of others. As a coach, people come heavily guarded. Some people come ready for war. And I have come to understand that I am ready for them, right? And I'm comfortable with handling their defensive nature because I understand it. Because even me with my coach, there are times I'm very defensive, right? It's a human nature. It's called self-protection. Everybody wants to protect themselves. So understand that and you'll be a happy person, especially those of you who deal with people. The last one, and please write in the chat because I'm finishing this. The R is, guess what? Can someone tell me what they think R is? Based on what you're talking about, R? Not L, R. R is reflection. You must reflect. The process of evaluating your behaviors, your perspectives, how you communicate, your attitude, right? So that you can gain insights to adapt to future challenges is called reflection. I reflect a lot. I reflect a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. I reflect. This coach reflects a lot. So my words here, my sentences are, I know how to reflect to learn from my experiences. So for me, there's nothing like failure. Failure is feedback. So I'll always go back and ask myself, what did God want me to learn from that experience? Where am I taking it like this? Where am I thinking? Where am I thinking that they thought like this? Am I in their head? Am I a mind reader? No, I'm not. Then I can listen to constructive feedback without being defensive. Very important. Can you get feedback without jumping at the other person or trying to explain and explain and explain and explain? You don't need to give an, if you know the truth shall set you free. And the truth is what matters at the end of the day. And then I share my goals with people who I trust and will support my progress. And that's what we are doing in the 100-day sprint. And thank you so much, Tim, for sharing this. So S is self. Thank you. O is outlook. Thank you. A is action. Thank you. R is reflection. Thank you very much. So, and then I also practice new skills or new approaches to continually develop important skills in my life. Very important. And then I create clear plans for overcoming recurring challenges. Let me tell you what, if something comes up again and again and again, it's an issue, right? So you better deal with it. So some of you need to get a coach. Some of you need to get a therapist. Some of you need to really sit with somebody to help you understand, where am I having these recurring thought patterns? And Tim, please remind me next week to talk about patterns. That's what we're going to talk about next week in the session. I really feel I want to talk about patterns because some people have patterns and they wonder, how come nothing is changing? It's because these patterns have become strongholds in your life. So Jennifer, please take a note of that because that's what I'm going to talk about next week. We're going to talk about patterns. And if you want to really understand why you do what you do, you better be here next week, right? So that I can take you through that. It's so, so, so important. Yes. Patterns recur. How are these patterns created? How do they recur? And how do they show up in our lives in such a way that we are held back? Thank you so much. Take a note of it and you'll remind me when we meet tomorrow. BT says self, outlook, action, reflection. You know where I'm from. Reflection. Core issues remain core issues. These are her takeaways. Thank you. Powerful, effective questions. No roundabouts or beating around the bush. My friend, you have taken notes for everybody. Thank you so much because you've put it here. Reflection is critical so that we can learn from our experiences. And don't take things personally because in this ever-changing environment that we are in, when typical habits, behaviors, and thinking is not enough, this SAW model, this is the answer. This is what will help leaders apply self-awareness. This is how leaders will apply emotional intelligence. This is how leaders will employ social intelligence. And this is how you will have the ability to have, to be agile in your learning so that you can navigate life's most challenging situations. And BT says she's gonna be here next week, and I will. Tim, can you take a note of that because I'm gonna send her a message next week and remind her. So I want to say this: if you've not watched the videos from before, this I teach very important things. I don't come here to waste nobody's time because I don't want nobody to waste my time. So when I teach things that you can apply in your life today, things that you can apply in your children's lives, things that you can sit in the, on the bus, you're seated somewhere minding your own business. You can be like, oh, let me remember what she said. What did Joanne say? And guess what? As I do this work, guess what happens? I also work on myself. Right now, when I walk out from here, here and I finish teaching my sprinting ladies, I'm going to sit and ask myself, where do I need to emotionally regulate better? Where do I need to reflect? Where do I need to be less judgmental? Where do I need to take action? Where do I need to stop going round the bush in a roundabout manner? Where do I need to master myself? Because when I master myself, that's my true power. Where do I need to be held accountable? And where do I need to hold myself accountable? So listen, I have taught. I feel good, and I'm going to teach some more to my 100-day sprinters. And for those of you who have sneaked in, welcome. You'll be getting the details for the orientation call, which will be happening exactly an hour from now. I'm teaching them and launching them into their 100 days, and it's going to be such an incredible experience as we buckle down to the 3-day event that will be happening in early December. So those of you who have attended before, many of you have, BT, I know you've been there. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming, and it's going to be very different this year because we are running it as a summit, and I can't wait. It's not just going to be me teaching. You'll have other people coming in who are experts in all these areas. We'll get people dealing with emotional regulation. We'll have people talking about healing. We'll talk people talking about finances. We'll talk others talking about leadership. It's going to be an incredible experience. We're going to have someone talk to us exclusively on parenting. What am I saying? Keep your eyes locked, because it's going to change you for real, and it's going to help you be the self-leader that you have been created to be, so that you can fulfill destiny, so that you can live out your purpose, and so that you can live your one royal life with boldness and with courage. On that note, I've taken a bit long today, but you can tell us in a teaching mood. See you next Thursday, same time. Not this time, it's usually later, but you'll see the notification, and I'll always email to say the exact time. Take care, everybody. Tell me by in the chat and let me know that you are here. Summit, here we come, coming in hot. And remember, those who sign up, when we start early bird at the beginning of October, you get very serious discounts because you'll be paying in advance. So look out for the early bird. Yes. Bye, team. Bye. Bye, BT. Bye, everybody who's saying bye. I may not see all of you, but yes, I am ready for you. Listen, this is it. We don't get another chance. The queen has gone. Me, it hit me. It affected me. Seriously. I'm like, you mean she can go? She can die, the queen, our queen, my queen, because I'm such a royalist. She's gone. Who can't go? Of course, everybody will die. But the mortality, the fact that we are not here forever, it's not a morbid thing, it's a fact. So please, the time that God has given you, make the most of it, because you don't know when. Nobody knows the day or the hour. Nobody knows their day. Nobody. But make the most of what you have. And then you'll stand before your Creator, and He will tell you, good and faithful servant, put your name, Naomi. Good and faithful Naomi. Good and faithful BT. Good and faithful Jennifer. Good and faithful Sylvia. Good and faithful, insert your name, right? All the people who have been here. Good and faithful. And God will put that, you'll get that crown on your head, and you'll have done your assignment, and you'll have done your assignment well. Till next week, I'll see you guys. Bye. The real bye.